Okay, we're going to set up this demo for carving the roast. Now, I do want to remind you that the reason the thermometer's in here is for carryover cooking. All right, carryover cooking, it was 110 degrees set. It came up to about 130, so it's 20 degrees carryover. And it's starting to drop a little bit, so we're ready to carve it. We want to take the strings off. There we go. And make sure when you do carve a roast such as this, you want to use a slicing knife. Now the slicing knife could run between 12 inches up to 16 inches. And this is what they call a turkey slicer, or also could be a roast beef slicer. Turkey slicer's got the points, roast beef slicer's got a round end on it. The idea of the point is to get into the bone, but this is roast beef. Now, the reason why you got this length of the knife is because you don't want to saw. You don't want to saw with this. What you want to do is slice with it. And make sure the knife, of course, is sharp. Now, we're going to slice this one down. All right, see, I'm not sawing, I am slicing. And what you want to do is slice it as thin as possible. Work your way down, keeping it in order. Now, we've talked about sequencing. When you slice something, you always want to keep it in sequence as it's being sliced. So when you slice several of them, 2, 3 of them, you can plat them, or what you can do is slice all of it and you can put it on a platter. I got a demo here, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to do, we're going to break down a chicken into portion pieces. One of the primary reasons I'm doing this is because you're learning your cooking skills. What we want to do now is break down a chicken to save you money. If you look at the idea of going out in a supermarket and buying chicken, your chicken breasts are 3 times more, 4 times more than the legs. The legs are 2, 3 times more than the whole chicken. The whole chicken is the much cheapest thing you could get. Now, by breaking that down, I'm going to break it down into prime parts. I'm going to break it down into sub-prime parts where you can dry cook, you can stew, you can roast, you can do anything you want to do and get several different meals out of a chicken. All right, first thing I'm going to do with this chicken, I'm going to take off the first joint of the chicken. All right, on the wing. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take this one off over here. Now what I'm using is a boning knife. You know, the reason for that is because it's short, it's rounded, I can get into the bones much easier. Once I take off the wings, what I'm then going to do is take off the chicken leg. I'm going to cut the skin all the way down the side. I'll turn it up here so you can see it. I'm going to cut that skin all the way down. I'm going to come over here and cut the skin down here. Same thing over here. I'm going to cut the skin here. Now remember, you got the tailbone right here. Cut on the side of the tailbone. Okay, down at the tailbone, we're going to cut across this way. Make sure that your skin is cut all the way down. Now what I like to do, I like to cut across this way, and I find a joint. Once you do that, cut across that tailbone, find a joint, you just pop it out a little bit. What I like to do is take the knife, hold it against that joint, and what I do is I pull this. Now by pulling it, what that does, it brings out that oyster meat in the bottom of that chicken. So we'll cut this, we'll pull it, and then I'm going to cut that off of there. Same thing on this side. I'm going to cut this down all the way, cut that skin down all the way on the end. I'm going to bring it over here. Don't forget your tailbone. I'm going to cut across the tailbone. All right, right beside the tailbone. And you're going to have the leg. Once you bend it down, so you can see it pop. And once that pops, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put the knife right in the joint. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to pull this out. So by pulling that out, you can see it takes the oyster out of there. All right? Takes that oyster out of there, so you're not throwing that away. Now, on the breast, I got the legs off. I'm going to take the chicken breast. The keel bone goes right down here. Okay? Now, going down on the keel bone on both sides, you want to cut that skin, both sides, right down on that keel bone. Here's your keel bone. Again, put the point of your knife into the bone. So you're following out all the way across there. And make sure that the skin has been cut. Now as you're doing that, the knife is sharp now. Let the knife do the cutting. You got the wishbone here. Now what you want to do is get underneath the wishbone. Just like this. You want to bring this down. Take this all the way off. You can see that, okay? Again, you're going to cut this all the way down to where you see the wing joint. Now once you got the wing joint, okay, you can almost find it by tipping it up. It comes loose. Then you cut close to the wing joint, and you don't have too much of the waste of the chicken meat down here on the bottom of your breast. And you got the full breast right here. And that's that piece. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to come across on this side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to follow the kill bone. Make sure you get underneath the wishbone to get all that meat out of there. Of course, it's expensive. When you buy it separate, it's very expensive. So you want to make sure you get whatever meat you can off that chicken. Okay, now we'll take this here, cut that down. We're going to bring it down all the way again, right off the bone. Okay, you can see where your joint is. Come down here to the wing joint, and what happens? You're going to cut that right through there, and then you got the wing joint right off of there. All right, so you got the wing. Now, what you got over here is you got the two legs and thighs. You got the breast. You got this and the breastbone over here. Now, for the breast, what you can do on the breast, you can leave it like this, or what I like to do is take the breast. I like to go around this breastbone here, okay? Just cut it all the way around it, just like that. Cut this skin back, and you just slide it back. Slide it back off the bone, okay? Then what you got is a nice Frenched chicken breast. Right here, and you got the skin on there, and then on this top knuckle part, I like to cut that off. Okay, so you got a French breast. Now, what you can do with this one here, you can cut this wing piece off of here, and you grab the skin, just start it, you hold the breast, and you peel this skin off, and what you got here is a boneless, skinless chicken breast, all ready to go. Now, on your legs and thighs, what you can do on legs and thighs, you can separate them. Now, I have a $10 piece of information here for you. Everybody has a problem in terms of trying to cut the leg and thigh apart. All right, you're always hitting the bone, scraping it, trying to dig at it, trying to get these two apart. But what you do, you take the leg and thigh and you sit it down, you bend it back. Once you bend it back, you're going to see a white spot. All right, but see that white spot there? Okay, you guys see that white spot? All right. Now, what you do, you're going to take your knife and you're going to go right down through that white spot. And what happens, it just separates the leg and the thigh away from that. Again, what I'm going to do, I bend it back right there, and you got that white spot right here between the leg and the thigh. Okay, then what I'm going to do, take my knife, I'm going to go straight down, goes right through that joint, and you got your leg and a thigh. So now what we have is, we got some nice legs and thighs for frying, okay, or some roasting, or make a fricassee, or stew with it, or whatever you want to do with this. You got a French chicken breast right here, you can use for saute. You got a boneless and skinless chicken breast that you can grill over here, or you can leave them both boneless and skinless, or both French, whatever you want to do. And we also have bones and pieces over here to make a stock. What you got to remember is when you're doing chicken, you either do all your chicken first, any type of poultry first, to make sure that you clean up and sanitize, or you do all your prep and do your chicken last. You never want to cross back and forth, because that poor sanitation is always a potential hazard in terms of salmonella.